All right, good morning, guys. So, we're back with the truck today. So, what's happening here is I'm going to give you a rundown of the truck so far. So, this is the third gen that I've been working on. In the last video, I told you about the CP3 pump debacle that the previous owner went through and all of that jazz. So, I'm going to have some cars going by here, so I'm sorry if you guys get a little washed out. I'll wait till they pass, though. We're still building our neighborhood, so we have a lot of construction traffic and whatnot going by. So I apologize about that. So, what I've done to the truck so far, I've done the injectors, I've changed the fuel control actuator, I've changed the map sensor, and I've changed the sensor, the fuel pressure sensor, the rail pressure sensor. So that alleviated the injection issues. The only issue that I'm having now is since I replaced the turbo, the motor's getting a lot more boost than it either ever did or previously did, and I'm getting a turbo overboost condition. So to fix that, I've ordered from Thoroughbred a boost fooler. So it's a little thing that goes on your map sensor, it's a little pigtail. You plug it in and it fools the computer thinking it doesn't ever have an overboost. Because when you get an overboost code like that, which is the only code I'm getting right now, it defuels the motor and it limits your potential on putting out whether it's baseline power or all of your baseline power or more if you've tuned the truck. I don't have the truck tuned. So that's in the mail. Another thing that I replaced was the fan clutch. The fan clutch was bad, and I replaced it with a part from O'Reilly's, which is also bad. It does not cool the truck. So I'm going to be returning this one to O'Reilly's for a refund, and I ordered a Mopar factory part from Gino's Garage because my Dodge dealership is apparently pretty inept at keeping parts in stock. So it was a little cheaper from Gino's, and they had it in stock, and it shipped. I ordered it yesterday, it shipped this morning. So, another problem solved. The truck wasn't cooling well, it's because the fan clutch was bad, so that's done. Also replaced the alternator. So all these systems were failing. This truck was driven literally to almost absolute failure to the where it would probably start and run, but not very well. It might get you down the road, it might not. But it was coming to the point where if you didn't get into it and start fixing things, it was going to just be dead on arrival. So another issue I had with the electrical system, third gens have this problem. You'll get a code saying that you have low system voltage, electrical system voltage, and your alternator won't charge your batteries. That's a direct result of either a bad cable or, as in it could be either or, bad battery terminals. So these had the original battery terminals. I have one more to replace. The reason I didn't replace it yesterday because I went through and I replaced it with all brand new terminals. You probably can't see that with the angle you're at right now, but I wanted to get a wide angle of the truck. But I replaced them with some heavy duty battery cables that I bought at Tractor Supply. I got this cable. This is a new cable here from O'Reilly's. I got 7 feet of it because it's actually quite long. Because it goes from this battery to that battery terminal over there for the starter. And it's that negative terminal over there that I have to replace. That's the last one I got to replace. So as soon as I replaced this cable first, and that was not the problem, although this cable was in bad shape, and it's why I wanted to replace it. The reason why the batteries weren't charging was because of this particular positive battery cable. It just wasn't working anymore. It wasn't making a good connection, and it had been taken on and off and tightened down and loosened up so much it was just a mess. So I pulled it off there, I put a new one on there, and that solved that issue. I no longer have that problem. That code is gone. So what do I have left? I'm going to put the boost fooler on, which is literally a plug and play application. I'm going to clear that code. I'm going to change the fan clutch to the new Mopar part that's on its way. And then I have the valve body on the transmission to do. So this one has the shuttle shift or maybe it's not even the shuttle shift anymore. It probably started as a shuttle shift, but right now it's going from first, skip second into third, and will not go into overdrive. So I'm going to pull the valve body. I'm going to do the shift kit, which was about $60, and then I'm going to do all of the electronics. I have ordered the upgraded and replacement solenoids, all the governor solenoids. So I will have the valve body completely stripped down, do all the valving in that. I'm going to put it in a bucket of solution to clean it out real good, make sure all the passages are clean, rebuild the valve body valves with the shift kit, then put all the new electronics in there, make sure there's no codes, service the transmission, and then it should be good to go. There's really nothing else. I also did the exhaust the other day. Again, I talked about that in the last video. It was like 3 different exhaust systems. It now has one single 4-inch turbo back diamond eye with a muffler. Another thing about this truck is because it had a straight pipe exhaust on it, where somebody cut the this and the that out of it. There was no muffler, and it was just loud. It was so loud. The thing about a common rail truck, unless you're a younger person and you just want to listen to your diesel roar, I'm in my 40s and I got past that a long time ago. I like having a diesel truck, but I don't need to listen to it at 75 miles an hour as it drones out everything in the cab. So, I'm getting there with the truck. Again, this truck was driven to probably just the absolute brink of failure. I think if a person bought this truck and didn't know what they have my experience with diesel trucks, they probably wouldn't have kept it. They would have bought it, took it as a loss, and shuffled it on, or junked it, or pulled it apart, or put it in their backyard and let it rot. I don't know that anybody would have done that, which is a real tragedy because, yes, I put a lot of money and time into the truck, but the body, there's no rust on the body. One last thing I do need to do is I'm going to get a front end alignment because the previous owner rebuilt the front end because the ball joints were out of it, but he never got it aligned, and the tires on this thing are 5 years old. So after an alignment, new tires, I bought new wheels, I bought new lug nuts, because all these lug nuts are just, the truck has been sat outside, and it sat for a long time. Before I bought it, it sat for at least a year. It was 6 months at the shop who did the CP3 pump. I don't know why it took him 6 months to figure that out, but it's a couple of days at most doing that job. I don't know if it was he wasn't paying the shop or the shop was too busy. I don't know. I don't know the story there, but it sat at the shop for 6 months. When he got it back, he dropped at least 3 injectors 3 days after he got it back, which I think was the injectors were on their way out anyway. And then you add the CP3 pump being new and then all the other components being bad. He dropped 3 injectors after he got it home and just parked it for another 6 to 8 months. So it sat for more than a year. Again, so there's a multitude of problems that have been alleviated completely. The truck is running and fueling correctly. Once I get the cooling system squared away, it'll be better. The alternator was not only did I have the not charging the batteries problem from cables and terminals, but I took the alternator off as a troubleshooting measure to take it to an O'Reilly's here in town, and I had to put the alternator on the tester, and it was no good. It was putting out like 8 volts or something. It was done. So the alternator was done, that got replaced, and then the terminals were done. It's got new batteries. I had to replace the batteries anyway because the batteries were bad when I bought it. I couldn't even start it. It wouldn't hold a charge. So you could jump it off, but that was about it. It would stop after that. They would not take a charge. They were just dead cells. So overall, the truck is coming back from the dead. If I didn't have to mail order parts, it would be a lot better. But I think in the diesel performance world or in the diesel maintenance world, I think even some of these shops have to do that. I'm not going to keep a stock of parts at my house for a truck I may or may not own, and I don't blame a shop owner for not doing that as well. Holding inventory costs money, so on the off chance that someone might bring in a broken common rail, so I don't blame them. But outside of waiting on those things, the truck's moving right along. I should have it. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to pull the valve body and do that, but hopefully in the next couple of days that'll be coming. So Thank you for tuning in again. Um, this is some more third gen content. As soon as I can get other content on the channel, I will have that. Uh, but with work and all that, it's not exactly easy. Of course, we all have our crosses to bear. So, again, like and subscribe for more content. As I'm going to keep updating the channel, I'm going to try and make more content more often, so people aren't just waiting months and months and months for me to come out here and put content out. But thanks, everybody. Have a great day.